suggest it's any different or to look at him sideways in that regards currently. We just need to do deals earlier and do them smarter, man. Yeah, my guy's here, man. Let me bring him in. What you saying, bro?
Oh, my guy, what's good?
Bro, after yesterday, nothing really and truly, my guy, man. Nothing. But we're here, we're living. The fans, them in the comments are giving me some therapy and whatnot. We might as well jump into it, man. First and foremost, obviously introduce yourself, man, and what you do in your podcast and that, man. Plug it.
Yeah, man. So I love having me on, man. I'm Daps, Daps, and obviously I got a podcast, Counter Attack podcast, and I just chat football, man. Get a load of players on every week, chatting about their careers and whatnot. But yeah, man, that's literally all I do, man. And it's good that you've got me on here, man, because I love what you do, man. And I
appreciate that, my guy.
And I'm forever ever reaching out to you, man, to let you know.
I don't make me look bad, my guy.
No.
I've been planning to get you on this thing for a minute still. Look, you're getting the love, man. You're getting the love. Come on, man. Dapper McConnell. Hey, but you're downplaying your content, man. You did one with Bradley Johnson. I watched it, man. You make some fucking good content, man. Really appreciate it. Especially for the culture, man.
Yeah, I've got stuff with Andy Cole, Bradley Johnson, Jamal Lascelles, Van Aanholt. There's bare players. Tom Huddleston, I can't even.
That's what you like.
So, yeah, man, guys. So I would love if some of your subscribers come and sub onto my content, and then I'm going to get Counter Attack Podcast, literally what my name is here.
That's Counter Attack Podcast, people, man. Let me write that in the comments for you lot. For anyone that going to mistake that. Counter Attack Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, everything in it.
Yeah, man, it's all there, man. But yeah, man, listen, you're the big man into this thing.
Never. I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday, bro.
How you feeling about yesterday? I've caught some of your show today already, so I kind of give the general gist of it.
Bro, what's your opinion, bro? I've spoken about it too much. For me, it's just same old, fam. What are you saying? I'm sure the fans would appreciate a different voice, man. I've been going too ham.
Yeah, I don't know. My thing is disappointing. I think sometimes we're very reactive. Do you get what I'm saying? Right. And if you just take a couple steps back, like I get people coming to me telling me, get Arteta out and it's Arteta's fault, and that's not always the thing to just replace the manager. Do you get what I'm saying? And we were lucky in the sense that we had a manager for so long where we've never been that team where we just continue to change and everything. But I'm not here to say Arteta out because I don't think it's an Arteta out thing. But what I would say is that no one is above being questioned. Do you get what I'm saying? No one is above being questioned, and there's certain things that he does where you have to question him. You have to. Like, but then there's also something.
When you get down to the nuts and bolts, what have you found yourself questioning about him?
I think a lot of time his team selection is it leaves a lot to be desired. I think how he sets us up isn't right at times. Do you get what I'm saying? And obviously when it works. No one's got any complaints. But it's things like, obviously yesterday we went to the 4-3-3, but he was very stubborn for a long time and kept that same formation, even though we're not creating. And I had a thing of saying that he was, in the beginning, I understood why he did that old, the 3-5-2 thing, because we don't have the personnel to play how he wants to play.
Defense priority.
But at the same time, we're still leaking goals to the point where we're not even creating anything. So yeah, I was happy yesterday to see Aubameyang back up top. I was happy to see 4-3-3 formation. And to be honest, it was a tough game to actually utilize that for once, because Leeds, no matter what formation we play, Leeds are going to be Leeds, and Leeds were going to give it to us. That game was exactly how I knew it would go.
How everyone expected, yeah.
I knew they were going to get the chances, and they were going to be all over us and whatnot. And obviously, yesterday hinged on one massive thing, the Pepe dismissal, and there's absolutely no reason for that. Like, I don't care what's going on. It was stupid. It was stupid, and this is coming from someone who was crying out just the other week that he needs more game time and whatever.
All of us were.
And you get thrown in, and that's what you do. And then do you get what I'm saying? And then after the match, people are still going at Arteta. It makes no sense for me, innit? Like, I'm not Arteta in, I'm not Arteta out. I'm just an Arsenal fan, and I want the best for my club, innit? And you know, certain things like yesterday, I know some people were happy about Willock starting. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm never gonna be happy about Willock in that number 10 role ever.
Yeah. The 10 role is not him. I understand the energy and the legs, but he's not got the guile, the breaking the lines. He's like a duck out of water in that regards. Exactly. And I felt sorry for him yesterday, man. Yeah,
no, and there's a couple times where if you look, like, he was getting into the positions, but he just didn't have that thing about him to.
He ain't got the class to make it happen. It's not him.
Yeah, he never had that thing to see that pass or whatever. But he'll give you energy, and you know, sometimes it's not the energy you need. Sometimes you need that guy that's got that added bit of class and quality. But it's not his fault because he's still very young, and I'm not one of those that will go and slate a young player who's just trying to find his feet and whatever. But I wasn't happy about that. I don't know what else to. That game went exactly how I thought it would go. To be honest, if you'd asked me at the beginning of the week if I would take a draw away to Leeds,
we all would have.
I would have said yes. Do you get what I'm saying? I would have said yes. And I think a lot of, you know what? Sorry to keep going on. I think a lot of this.
Go ahead, man. That's what you're here, man. Talk everything you want to say, bro.
Yeah, I think a lot of this would be saved if people would realise the level Arsenal are actually at. Like, we would save ourselves so much headache. All this Arteta out or blah, blah, blah. We would save so much headache if we realised the level we're at. Like, we are still 2-3 years away from competing properly.
And even that might be generous for this.
Exactly. So my thing was, you know, first stop the whole conceding 4s and 5s. There were times we were conceding 4s and 5s like it's a regular thing. We stopped that. We look more defensively, you know, solid. But, you know, we're going to have games where we're up against it and whatnot. But yeah, yesterday I was pissed looking at it. But at the same time, when I bring myself out of it and see that for 40 minutes we were playing with 10 men, I'm all right with a draw. And, you know, people might think I'm a bit mad here, but I could see that even with that 4-3-3 formation, we were looking better at certain times. Like, if we were
20 minutes.
Huh?
I feel for 20 minutes. My personal thing, I think we only look good for 20 minutes.
No. I mean, like, no. I think for the first half an hour, I think we were good. But I'm talking about if we had certain bits of quality, that there were positions we were finding ourselves in where just that extra key pass, and we weren't even finding ourselves in those positions. Do you get what I'm saying? After half an hour, it was all Leeds. It was all Leeds, 100%.
The last 15 minutes were tough, man.
Yeah. I'm telling you. But I saw enough there, especially in the first 20 minutes, playing with this formation to show that, okay, we can actually offer something going forward, because it's been bad. It's been so bad.
You never look like we want to win a game of football, and it kills me to say that. You know, whatever you say, you have to try to score goals. We're not on that. For me, I don't understand it. And speaking about Arteta is one thing, and it's valid. But I question the logic of our players upstairs, because not to scapegoat anyone, but if I'm a Bamian, I'm not been scoring. I'm playing against a team that have conceded 8-2. You know, barely keep a clean sheet. 20-year-old goalkeeper in front of there. I hear that about creativity and not creating chances, but when are you going to force things for yourself? Are you going to keep sitting here game in, game out and say, oh, no one's created? Or are you going to try and drive with it? I know he's not exactly that player, but I don't feel we force things. I don't think our players have enough upstairs. I don't think they solve problems themselves. I genuinely feel Arteta can only sort out so much, bro. You know, he's the gaffer, but the players have to help themselves.
I heard you say that before I came on that, you know, like the young players, like when they're looking left, looking right, who are they really looking up to? Do you get
where are you looking?
Yeah, and that's something I've been saying for time. Like, Arsenal, we have this culture in our club of there's no accountability, there's no there's no real leaders, there's no real characters. I love Aubameyang, like I love Aubameyang. To get what I'm saying, but number one, he can't do it by himself. Number two, like his form definitely needs to improve. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's tough. It's tough because he literally dragged us through the last couple months.
Through the mud, bro.
He's dragged us through, and now that he's experiencing a dip in form, like there's no one else to like bring us up. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's no one else who's stepping up. So it's tough to watch. To be honest, there's going to be more games like this. Let me not lie.
More games. More.
There's going to be a lot of these games, and if Arteta was to get sacked today and a new manager come in tomorrow, the same thing would happen. Do you get what I'm saying? The same thing would happen because we need to realize the level that our team is currently in. Do you get me? We're not at that level where like we should be competing for leagues. And
no divine right for any of that.
Yeah, no, we don't. Like we have to really look at where we're at. So it's hard, and because we all love the club at the end of the day, but you have to just accept that these things are going to happen. And like I said, moving forward, Arteta definitely needs to be questioned at times. Just because I don't think he should get the sack, it don't mean that I shouldn't question his.
Don't just trust the process for no reason. Like that's what.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's what I wanted to ask you as well, man. It's like, do you feel there's too much of an agenda thing with fans in general? It's like, man, just condone anything Arteta does just so they can say trust the process, or I always believed in him. Some man never wanted him from the get-go, so he can never do any right. Just from the way you speak, you're exactly like me in that it's an accountability thing. It's like, I want Arteta to be a success. If he's messing around, we talk about it. When he's playing poorly, when he's playing good, we'll praise him, sort of thing. Do you feel there's too many? There's a lack of balance generally when looking at the mess that Arsenal is.
Yeah, I think, but that's just people in general now. That's just fans in general. People say stuff and they feel they have to die on that hill. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you didn't want Arteta in now, no matter what he does. Like, I mean, if you didn't want him in the beginning, no matter what he does, the moment something goes wrong, I didn't want him in the beginning, blah, blah, blah. Whereas if you did want him, you feel like you can't question him. Do you get what I'm saying? And there definitely is an agenda thing. And all it does, it just divides everything. And trust me, these things make its way to the players. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it makes it harder. Do you get what I'm saying? So 100%, I definitely feel that there's an agenda. I definitely feel like a lot of, it's hard because we're all fans, but I feel like not all fans should have an opinion, if that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
you gotta explain that, man. Everyone's probably looking like, wow. I agree, though.
No. And what I mean by that, everyone should definitely have an opinion, but some opinions are they just don't make sense, and all they do is add toxic. Like it just makes it toxic. Do you get what I'm saying? And it makes it that much harder. Like there's absolutely no reason why you can't look at it. And the guy's been in the job for 8 months, and you can't look at it objectively without saying, okay, you got to go. You got, like, how is that just the fix? Even when Emery was there, I was never like, Emery, go, until the very end where
until it was clear that you're not the guy.
Exactly.
We supporting him. We just didn't condone him at times.
Exactly. Like now we're in a time where people don't want to give the time. Do you get what I mean? People don't want to apply logic, because just 2 months ago when we was winning FA Cup, Community Shield, Arteta could do no wrong.
Bro, do you remember how everyone was talking about when we went like 13-14 unbeaten?
Under Emery or Arteta?
Under Arteta, when we went on that little winning run under Arteta, people were just crying about it and calling him the Messiah, and now he was never good enough. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, man. So I definitely feel there's an agenda. I feel like if a lot more people were able to just hold their hands up and be objective, then things will be different. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, I have no doubt that things will get better, whether that's under Arteta, whether that's under Arteta or another manager, like, I don't know, but things will get better. But before they get better, we're going to have a load more of these situations. So are we going to be doing this every week? Oh, this person's got to go. Because after the Man United match, Arteta was spot on. And we outdid them and blah, blah, blah. No one was saying Arteta right them times. A week later, obviously the Villa team was a madness. The Villa team was a madness. Nice. Did you get what I'm saying? And it doesn't surprise me. I hated it. I hated watching it. But it doesn't surprise me because, like, our team isn't good enough when you really look at it.
That's how you play all year.
Yeah, we're not good enough, and we're gonna get those times more and more. But people just need to you know, it would be nice if a lot more people would actually not be so reactive and talk out of emotion. Because if you say Arteta up, what's your next solution? I genuinely want to know. Okay, Arteta up. Arteta goes out. Let's just say we get a top manager like Allegri, which we won't.
Come here, bro, because we're not getting peace.
Yeah, which we won't. Do you get what I'm saying? Then what? You think Allegri's going to come with Rob Holding, Mustafi, Socrates, and them man, and make it different?
It's not even that for me. Man are gonna say the same thing. It's not his players. He needs time. He needs money. We're not Chelsea, where if they sack Lampard, they're probably gonna give the next manager 70, 80, 100 million. You're not gonna get that. People don't understand. Not that I want Arteta to necessarily, it's Arteta or die trying. We need one manager to kind of get this right. We can't afford to keep doing the merry-go-round thing. Let me ask you on Arteta though, as someone with balance. If you had to put it down to anything, what have you been most impressed by and what are you most concerned about with him?
Most impressed by, I think, you can see he has the respect of the players. That's number one. And I think when you're a young manager coming in and you instantly get the respect from people, it makes a ton of difference. And I don't want to be dropping things like that. I've spoken to some of the players so even when I spoke to Aubameyang, he told me straight away, like, no, Arteta is different. His training is different. Like people, the young ones are
saying that.
Say again.
Even the young ones I interviewed over the all saying that, could not talk any higher of Arteta.
Exactly, and that's one thing. Number two is how quickly we looked like we had an idea all of a sudden. For too long, we've been playing looking like we haven't got a clue. And and you know, quickly he managed to implement his way, and even when it don't work, you can see what he's trying to do. Do you get what I'm saying? That's that. What I'm not happy with is his stubbornness. He's very stubborn. I can see his stubbornness, and you know, there's times where you just have to just be like, you know what, I got it wrong. Let me switch it up. If something's not working for you, and I think fans are forgiving. Fans will understand if you're trying new things, if they can see that you're making stuff happen. Do you get what I'm saying? So, you know, too many times, exactly. Too many times you go with a 3-5-2 and then it's not working. You persist with the 3-5-2. Do you know what I mean? And you put man, you squeeze man into certain positions that shouldn't be playing in those positions, like just to stick to your system. But
your system,
I will definitely change that. I'm one of them, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, who thinks Ozil should be included.
So right, you've got no backup option. Like that's simple as that.
And I think that is obviously, if the decision is above him, then it's whatever. But he absolutely has to be involved, because I remember I saw a game in Europa League where we had two goalkeepers on the bench, and you're telling me Ozil can't make it on that bench. Do you get what I'm saying? Not only that, like his stubbornness, it's almost like, okay, once I've made this decision, it has to stick. That it has to be that way. So even like Saliba not being included in the squad,
no humble pie basically.
I'm not saying Saliba should come and be playing week in, week out in the whatever, because I've not seen enough of him to say he'll but it's ludicrous to not even include him. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I saw him a couple of weeks back saying, I feel bad that he can't be included in the. It's ridiculous.
He does affecting, bro. So when he gasses up a player too much, he's not using them. He does it with Joe. He does it with Maitland. He does that. There's no point telling me it's a crime. Like you said, the Saliba one's interesting, because obviously, you know, we're not in training. You know, there's apparently personal issues with him and whatnot. But I can't understand. For me, it's the fact that there's no plan. It didn't scream there's a plan. You tried to palm him off to St. Etienne. You're scrambling to find him a loan club. That's the thing with us. Like, potential is just one thing, but I don't see the succession planning. Like, I know Saliba is going to be part of the team, but how is he fitting? How is he going to take off from Louise? What is Joe bringing to this table? What midfielder do you see as Joe? How are we building? Even Nelson, because I think Nelson was encouraging yesterday, but you're looking at some of the crosses he's putting in. Again, it's down to him to work harder, but like, you know, iron these bits of your play out of your players. You need to be able to coach and develop.
I totally agree with you, man. He does do that thing where he gasses up players and he's not using them. On that Willock one though, someone asked me what's Willock good at, and
It's always harsh when you hear that, isn't it?
Say it again.
It's always harsh when someone says that, man. It's always
hard.
Like,
what's weird, like, I think is I like Willock, but if you ask me what he's good at, I couldn't really give you. I couldn't really give that, and I think when you start doing things like that and putting him into the team, like I genuinely don't know what he thought Willock would offer yesterday.
But that's what I ask you. Sorry to cut you off here, but it's like I've wondered that as well. But it's like there's Arteta. Wenger was the only guy playing him in a withdrawn role, but there's been Arteta, there's been Emre, there's been Lundberg. Is there a mandate from? Do you think there's a mandate from the club, or do you think like they all seeing something, or he's doing a madness in training? He must be caca in training, bro. If he's always thrown in that role, because I think he must be.
He must be, and I think it's got a lot to do with his energy. Like that energy is mad, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like we need that energy sometimes. You need that energy in your team, but I think in a team where we're already struggling and we haven't got stars like that, like we can't just have man in the team who can just run. Because if you're gonna run, if you're gonna run and press man, and then when you get the ball, you give it away, or you're not really doing anything. I'm not sure I would not have you in my team. Do you get what I'm saying? At least exactly. At least with Ozil, when he gets the ball, like I know he might not do a mad expansive pass, but he's going to keep the ball. He's going to see the right passes. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't know what it is about Willock. I think it is just his energy. I think he's a great squad player. I think that he's got a lot of room to improve, but he's also young. And I'm a big advocate of letting young players actually develop. I don't believe that by 22, 23, man are just their finished article. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I don't know that Willock one, and I couldn't tell you what his best position is. I couldn't tell you unless they're trying to make him
box for me, bro. Box to box, man, because he's good. He seems because even me, when you were saying what's Joe Willock good at, I was trying to answer it mentally. I was like engine runs. When I look at it on a harsh thing, you're a centre midfielder. Like that's not a strength. That's a given. Surely in the modern day, you should be able to do that. I think he's better when he sees the game in front of him versus, back to it, has to turn, do a little 1-2. I mean, he played further forward in academy days among other players, but I think this level is too high for him. If anything, he's going to be a box-to-box midfielder, but Arteta knows more than me, and I can't see what he brings to that cam role. Definitely ahead of Ozil or whoever.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, do we have in our team the capacity to just have a box-to-box player who is average at what he does? It's not like he's a worldie. Like, I'm genuinely asking, do we have that space in our team for that? Because I don't think we do. It's
not. Our midfield don't complement each other enough. Like for me, Partey is the only specialist. You know what he's on. You know what in theory we try to see with Xhaka, Ceballos, and them, man. Like even El Nene, his fall has been good, and him and Partey is the best midfield pivot we could probably go with. But it's not expansive. Like, do you have much sympathy for the lack of creativity in this team with Arteta? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't, bro. Because the market was there. You're not gonna bring in Aura or someone. Get lesser names. Like, what's going on? You're not registering Ozil. You're not using Willian in the 10, which everybody's just speaking about. You've got the Emils, you've got the Nelsons. Fair play, Emil's been injured, but I think Arteta's kind of set, like he's kind of dealt his own hand and kind of crippled himself.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I don't have sympathy because there's enough, and this is what I was talking about he's very stubborn. There's enough there to work with it, because there's enough there to realize I've got enough to do better than what we're seeing. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I see Xhaka and any Partey in whichever combination, there's absolutely nothing there. Like you said, even if you put a young man like Emil, I know he's been injured or whatever, or you put a Willian in that 10 role, straight away, you've got something different. You've got someone that can make something happen. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't feel any sympathy from him at all. And part of it is down to him. Part of it is down to the club, because I don't know why, they didn't try to get that over the line. You see, Aura was the perfect signing.
Perfect, bro.
He was the perfect
player, blood.
He's the and you know what's mad? I got onto Aura late. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I knew about him from time. I got into him late. And how I got onto him, funny enough, was they played Man City in the Champions League. And I looked, and I said, right, who is this player? This man is good. Like, that's my kind of player. Mad intelligence on the ball. And then a week later, I saw we were linked with him. I was thinking, nah, whatever. But yeah, but when I saw that, you know, we could have got him. No matter what you do, man, like you have to just get those ones over the line. You have to. And if we're talking about Arteta being the man for long term, and they want us to really trust the vision and trust the process, these are the things you just got to get over the line. You just got to get over the line. And I think part of him was left a bit demoralized and a bit depleted when he realized that, you know, we did all the great work and then we didn't get his signings over the board. Don't get me wrong though, I say that Gabriel for me is one of the buys of the season, 100%.
Yes, him and Jota signings of the seasons off the top of my head. I think Højbjerg gets a shout out as well. You know, Gabriel's been a steal. Apparently, we've only paid 5 million, and the rest of his 20 is over 5 years. Them things there can be good, but it's like for me, I get frustrated because for every Partey for 45 mil, every Gabriel or Tini or Martinelli, how many players have we lost? I don't actually buy the fact of not having money and care for this. I just don't think we're proactive enough. It's like you've got, what scares me is you've got not only have you got a novice in Arteta, as much as I believe in him, you've got Edu, who's a new one. So it's like, are they surrounding these guys with the necessary experience? You hear Tim Lewis and all these Kroenke advisors, but from what I get, you know, Kroenke doesn't appear the most hands-on. So it's like you don't really see the vision from our club, or you don't really get any clarity in what we're trying to do. And that's why I think fans get a bit annoyed, because even looking at Leeds, fair enough, Leeds are not trying to be a Champions League team, but you can see ambition. You can tell Bielsa is trying to become eventually challenging for Europe and making them a stable Premier League club. We don't have that. Really don't have that.
No, honestly, I honestly just totally agree with you. I think that it's been an absolute shambles, and there are certain players who, if you're gonna freeze out Ozil, because they would have known that they were gonna freeze out Ozil. Like that wasn't a thing that they just did. They would have known. If you're gonna do that, if you don't think that you're gonna get, you know, hour over the line or whatever, I would much rather you come up with a plan that get someone who's almost like a lesser player, but so even if, and I'm not saying this is just off the top of my head, even if they say, you know what, we've missed out on these, man, let me bring Buendia in. Do you know what I mean? Let me, like, at least it shows that you're trying to do something. But all they wanted to do was be like, oh, we're after these players. Lastminute.com, get Partey over the line. Everyone's rejoicing it. Everyone forgets that.
A serious positions.
Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, there's definitely some novice things going on in there, like 3-year contract for Willian. And I'm still a big fan of the Willian capture. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the 3 years was the one thing I wasn't happy with. I heard his wages are madness like that as well. And
probably are, man. His agent is in bed with us. He probably are, bro. Probably. What do you think, man? You mentioned it. You know, you said you was on the Willian side, and I wasn't on it, but I wasn't against it. I felt, you know what, compliment the side, give us another option out wide, it'd be an option. What do you make of Willian? And I'd have to say, on top of that, what do you make of Arteta's obsession with Willian?
Yeah, do you know what it is with Willian? Willian gives a lot in regards to defensively and the team structure. I know that, like, that's one thing you know you're getting with Willian. Like, you know he's going to work hard. You know he's going to defensively. He's not going to like forget his duties. Do you get what I'm saying? What I haven't been seeing from Willian is, you know, that dynamic, the direct play that he gives us, that creativity. We saw it against Fulham, but I think he was just gassed. It was his debut or whatever.
Bro, he showed the real Willian.
Exactly. We haven't really been seeing it since. Do you get what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm a realist. I like Willian. Like, Willian's been one of my you know, one of my favorite players over the last couple of seasons. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's not been good enough. I'm able to be like, it's not been good enough. And he definitely is a player that needs to hold the bench, let another player come in. So when Pepe, but it's funny because everyone wanted Pepe over Willian, not because Pepe deserved it and he's shown enough, but just because Willian was playing that badly. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think Arteta knows. I think Arteta is so hung up on being defensively strong that he plays. Yeah, do you get what I mean? He does that, and sometimes you just got to look at it and be like, look, you're not giving us what you're giving us defensively isn't enough to cover the fact that you're literally giving us nothing going forward. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a thing where Pepe comes in and he maybe doesn't give you that go like defensively, but gives you more defensively, then you know what? You might just have to do that. We might just have to play in a way sometimes where it's just like, look, us against you, attack.
That's it. That's it.
Because there's no reason why against Villa we should still be playing like within ourselves. Do you get what I'm saying?
We never started that game well enough. That was terrible.
Yeah, listen, from the get-go, we were gonna get cleared. But I'm just saying that there's certain teams we're coming up against, and he still wants to maintain that, okay, defense. No, how about you just let man express themselves sometimes? Do you get what I'm saying? Because at this point, Arteta's being made to look like an idiot for continuing to pick Willian.
That's exactly what I said. Because Willian's not respecting him. He's not giving your manager nothing, especially with the Dubai thing. You're not giving your manager nothing. Exactly.
Like he's not giving himself a chance, and ultimately he's killing Willian. Sometimes you need to take a player out. Like Lacazette, he come out now, and what we're going to see from Lacazette, we're going to see him. Yeah, he's going to come back and whatever. Cool, but that's sometimes you need that. Like for what I know, Willian is here for 3 years. Like now is the time you let him know from the get-go that it's not going to be a walk in the park. Because that's what was happening under Wenger and them, man. Like too long players were in our team that they shouldn't have been in our team. There's no consequences. They can play rubbish and still play next game. Do you get what I'm saying? When I see man like Mourinho, man can't have bad games like that.
Yeah, you're out of it. You're getting weak and you're getting thrown under a bus, man. Really.
Straight away. So yeah, man, he needs to just let Willian hold the bench for a couple games, but then who do you bring in?
That's it. That's why you're looking at it now. It's like, Nelson, this is your chance now because nobody's fit. You've got to take your chance. You're probably looking at moving Aubameyang back out wide, and like you said, bringing in the Lackers or bringing in Eddie, because who else is a wide man? Balogun might get on the bench and things. I know he's a striker just because he's an attacker, but we're down to our bare bones, man. Martinelli would have been great. He's not fit. What do you make of Pepe though? Because it's like, I do think Pepe unnecessarily gets scapegoated. I do think he needs to hold the music. Definitely yesterday he needs to hold it all. But I do feel, and I'm not defending his red card because it was stupid and we had to defend. We never looked like we was going to win with 11 men. And I think that takes away from how poor we was. I also feel, I won't say Arteta threw him under a bus, but I do think his comments were quite damning. It's like, you've got to protect and critique. I did think he threw him under a bus, and maybe he's trying to do that because that might be the last straw for reaction. And, I do think Pepe deserves more chances. He got a red. He has to hold his hands up and stuff. But, has he done much worse than many players? So, like, what's your feelings on that whole Pepe in general and that whole crap yesterday?
In general, all people, like, I never like to look at price tags in it because people don't pick their price tags. So that 72 mil, I've never seen it haunt a player more than it haunts Pepe. Do you get what I'm saying? And no matter how much he was worth, no matter how much we paid for him or whatever, at the end of the day, he's still a player that needed to settle in. What didn't help him was the fact that he came into a team that was underperforming. He came into a team that was just negative and we weren't doing anything. And I do believe that there's times where he's shown glimpses. We don't play to his strengths enough, but there's also a lot of nonsense that he does. And I'm talking about, and I like Pepe. Do you get what I'm saying? I like Pepe, and I'm not one of those that can't look at him and also just critique him. Like there's things that he does, like simple ball control at times, like and he plays like he's always having a jolly up. Like sometimes we need you to just let the ball stick and make
a killer, man.
Yeah,
happy-go-lucky, like it's a holiday camp, like he's going to Dubai, bro. This is a serious thing, man.
Exactly, and his end product is extremely wasteful at times, but then he'll do something like he did in the Europa League, and it's the inconsistencies for me. And I was happy to, because if you look at his overall stats towards the end of the season, or at the end of the season,
actually quite promising, even in a mediocre team. He's done better than most, man.
Exactly. But I also watch football, and I also see that within that you've done a lot of rubbish. So I was just like, you know what? Let me see what he comes up with now. And now he just looks so like it's like nothing ever bothers him. Do you know what I mean? Nothing ever bothers him, and I don't like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if you have to make it look like you're really putting it in, and I'm happy that he came out and said he wants to play more. And I saw that when Lee Dixon was just like play better, then I was just like simple, play better. So
Yeah,
so let me
play better. Grab, like you saw yesterday, grab that sort of thing. I do think he looks a bit aggressive at times, and that red card has been coming because he bites too easily. He needs to channel that.
Listen, everyone was trying to talk about, there was racial comments and blah blah blah, and I was just like, listen, he just lost his head. The guy got his head, and it was schoolboy. It was schoolboy, and like we don't play to his strength, but at the same time, he needs to just back up his ideas very quickly, because it's getting to the point now where I can't continue to defend. How much time do you want to give him, man? And I'm not here saying he's rubbish. No, I'm not here saying it's because of the 72 mil. Forget all of that. What is your output on the pitch? How much time do we give you? And
what difference are you making?
Exactly. And something like yesterday, even though it's got nothing to do with his actual ability, something like yesterday that's the stuff that makes my head go. Because
that's what makes you lose the trust, bro. Arteta doesn't rate you clearly, and now that's a saying of, look, this is why you don't play. It's harsh, it shouldn't be, but that's what most people are going to sit there and be like, all right, cool, it's fine. And now William's going to get more football.
Listen, if he got sent off 2 yellows, it was a bit harsh, or a VAR thing that was a bit hard, I would understand. But we're already playing against a team where it's hard. It's hard. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, you go and do that. You go and do that, and then
that's an attacking move when that happens. You know, Nelson he's made a good. Pepe makes a good run, bro, and he stops the handbags that he's been going with all day. It's ridiculous, man. Do you think Pepe's taking it in enough? Like, because I like to stay away from these comments because I don't know what a man's doing on the training ground. But when he came to this club, and I'm sure anyone that took Pepe in, you knew he's only had really like 18 months really playing like a star. He's still developing. He does come across as a bit nonchalant. And his dad made comments about, you know, he needs to put more work in training, needs to make more of a meal of it. I think I'm not going to say he's doing the minimum, but it comes across that you're doing the bare minimum. Like, you're not doing enough for yourself. You're not realizing how important you're supposed to be.
Okay, so basically, and this is a bit of an exclusive for you,
I
was meant to have a sit down with him, innit? Because we've got the same barber. So I was meant to have a sit down with him, but Arsenal stopped it.
They always do, and they done that bare for me when they caught so many times.
Arsenal stopped it, innit? And his English ain't even all that. But what I did get from him is that the thing is, I talk like this, but I know he loves the club. He legit loves the club.
He does.
And I know he wants to be there. Do you get what I'm saying? And in the beginning, I think it took him a while to really knuckle down, because, like you said, it come out that he needed to try harder in training and everything. But I think he does try. I think he wants to be there, but I don't think the severity of the situation is quite there as well in his head.
In it.
Do you get what I'm saying? And like I said, he wants to be at the club, but I don't know, that Pepe one is just,
it's a mazza, in it.
Yeah, I don't want to say get out the club, because that's never been my thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, right now, it's not working for him. He needs to go back and work harder. And I think it's a bit of a, if it's not working right now, my thing is never ever just be like, okay, leave. No, you try and make it work. I've seen many examples of players just not working in the beginning, and they knuckle down and turn it around. You see it all the time.
Speak about Aaron Ramsey. People got short memories.
Yeah, bro. You know what? Obviously, I'm a bit older, but I remember when Robert Pires first come to the club.
Robert Pires had a tough initial period as well. Look at Bergkamp as well. Robert
Pires in his first season got voted as the worst signing. Like, he got voted as the worst signing.
Now look.
Across the board, not just Arsenal signing, across the board, he got
out of proportions.
And the very next season, he come back and he was just a madness after that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you said, Dennis Bergkamp, my favorite ever player, he found it tough in the beginning, but you turn it around. And to bring even recent examples, Lo Celso at Tottenham, Jose wasn't having him at all. You get me? Giroud at Chelsea.
And at Spurs as well, forced his way back. No,
I believe people can turn it around, and I think I've seen enough to know that he's got the quality to actually do well, and that's the important thing. It's now about how much work he wants to put in to make it happen. Do you get what I'm saying? Am I talking? I feel like I'm waffling, by the way. Am I waffling?
No, man. That's actually refreshing hearing someone that, like, I knew you knew ball in it, but it's like it's refreshing to hear a level-headed person speak, man. Because it reminds me that I'm not crazy. I'm sure you look at a couple of YouTube comments and it's almost like I must be watching a different game. I must be smoking Skittles or something, man. Because these are on something else. But
Bro,
it's the Pepe thing, fam. Like, for me, I think I'm starting to feel Pepe can be a good rotation squad option. I think that, like you said, the price tag means he cannot be that. I think we're going to cut our losses purely because Arteta is going to be here in a long time. I think he just doesn't feel Donny, so it is what it is. I'm not going to give up on Pepe, like you said, because I've sympathized. All the reasons you said, he's had a kid, you know, all the pressure is on him. I don't really care for the attitude and things. I just think sometimes he plays within himself. Like I said in my video, like, I know he's not Thierry Henry, but I want him to be a bit like Henry, like be a bit more demanding of his teammates. Sometimes he doesn't get the ball and naturally can see he's peed off. Like, really demand that these players do not skip you out now, because the ability is there, man. Like, I just don't think he's gonna be like our Mo Salah or our, you know, our difference maker, our Harry Kane or whatever. I don't think that's what he's brought for 75 million, but he's never gonna do that, you know.
Yeah, I think with him, he's one of those that you just got to play to his strengths. Like, stop trying to make him play a certain way and blah. Just play to his strength. And from what I see of Pepe, he has to be coming onto the ball and ready attacking. He scored a goal against Sheffield United where he made a run and Bellerin just put him in.
Yeah,
and straight away he's running at.
Didn't he do that against United as well? Something similar.
Yeah, exactly. And straight away you're running at the defense, and you can make something happen. Too many times he's picking up the ball on the halfway line, and he's starting from a stand.
Enough, it's dead. They'll crowd you out. It's dead.
Yeah. You're not doing anything with that one, innit? So play to his strength. When you see him making those runs, and sometimes, do you know what he needs to do? He needs to just make that run or force them to make that pass. Do you get what I'm saying?
Don't let them get away with not playing it. You know, don't let them be hiders. Don't let them hide.
I think he's very good at that. So Saka's off the ball running. It's so good. You have to just give him the ball.
You see it. You're going to look like an idiot if you do not play that pass.
Exactly. Bellerin put him through yesterday, which he should have scored, to be honest.
Yeah.
He should have scored. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, he doesn't help himself, but like you say, he just needs to become more ruthless. He just needs to become a killer. Do you get what I'm saying? There's certain men that you see when man is running, off the ball running, you're not stopping him. You're not stopping him.
Savage.
Do you know what I'm saying? When
go on.
Yeah, sorry, I was about to say, when human son is making them run, you're not stopping them. Like, you give him the ball, you force people to make that pass, but he's too nice with it. Like, you give me the ball, blah blah blah. I give it away. Okay, I'm gonna get it again. Do the same thing.
Yeah.
We can't do that. He needs to be more of a killer and just be ruthless and not have it, man.
And that's why, for me, it's like you said with Mane. That's a great point. It's like Mane, why he's gone up a level is, one, he's not interested in playing in stupid areas, and two, if he rips his fullback once, he's like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. Sometimes it looks like Pepe, not just Pepe, a lot of our players, apart from Saka, they'll do it once and they're like, okay, cool, I beat him now. The manager's not gonna get onto me. No, savage him, play to the point where that fullback at halftime or whatever, the opposition manager has no choice but to clip him. That's what I want to see from a lot of these, man. Do you think we're gonna sign him in January?
Do I think we're going to sign anyone in January?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope so. Someone DM'd me the other day saying, "Oh, hours across the line, they're going to get him in January." But I'm like, I said, no, I'm not believing that one. Like, I don't think we will. I think it's very hard to sign players in January, especially top players who aren't already in the Champions League, aren't already in Europa League. Like it just doesn't happen. I don't think anyone can name me 5 top signings who are still involved in Champions League or Europa League that have made that move over the January window. It's hard, and you have to pay a premium, and Arsenal already don't want to pay little money, so I doubt that they're gonna make thingies and pay those premiums. So I hope we make a signing, but you know, we need that creative guy, man. You know what I think is going to happen, though, funny enough? I might be wrong. I legit think, that he might bring Ozil back. When they're allowed.
He has to. If you're not going to bring anyone back, at least that's where I think Emre and Arteta showed their experience and inexperience. I don't know if it's a thing where they trust Arteta more, so they said, you know what, we're going to do this thing fully, and Emre was a bit more cautious because we know Ozil's a big player in the squad, or if it was just the board trying to rub them both out. But surely he has to. If you don't, as thick as it is, you sign another creative man, whether that's a number 8 like Arrow or a 10, we don't speak about Ozil. All I want to do is be shown a reason for why Ozil is not a thing anymore. We're always going to talk about Donny.
Yeah, 100%. If he brings someone else in, who is doing the job that we need, that we want to see from Ozil, or that we clearly crying out for on the pitch, then no one talks about it. But he gets that question every press conference. Ozil. Get me? And on top of that, Ozil's there tweeting away, living life. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is making
that while we're playing. Like,
bro, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to just bring it back. So I do think that in that, when they do the updated Premier League squads, I think Ozil will be involved, especially because as far as I know, he's been going to training, been training hard. He's been doing everything you're asked of him to do contractually. Do you get what I'm saying? I think you just have to reintroduce him, and if he comes and he's rubbish, then bring him out of the team.
That's all. Like, all right, cool. Is especially when Arteta made his bed, because I remember when Arteta first took over, he was all like, "Oh, Ozil's a quality player. There'll always be a place for him." You can't use a man 10 times and rub a man out. I know there was wages and stuff, but something has got to happen. And if you know like you said at the start, you know that Ozil is never just going to be rubbed out. You were told in the summer of our business. Why is there not a creative man? Like, why? Like, this is why I get vexed, because it's like we're making bad decisions, and when we reach that journey as a result of making bad decisions, we're acting clueless. Like, we're choosing to do these things by not covering ourselves. It's a madness.
Yeah, no, 100%. And on that point, when Arteta took over and Ozil was playing well.
Playing well. Knew to take him off before the 70th minute. Take him off. Games don't play. That's the thing.
Exactly. He was playing well, so it's not even like you gave him the chances and he was terrible or whatever. He was playing well, so he can do it. Do you get what I'm saying? I remember there was a game. I think it's the Man United game. I was actually at that game as well. And that Man United game, I remember when he got subbed off here, the whole stadium stood up and they were clapping him off the pitch.
Liverpool at home as well.
And he didn't score. He didn't assist that game, but you could see his input. Again, against Chelsea when we lost 2-1, I think it was. Like, the same thing happened now.
Lost 15.
The quality is there, man. And you know what's going to happen? Ozil will leave us, yeah? And then he's going to find a manager that believes in, find an assistant that believes, and then everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Ozil's class."
And do you know what smacks it for me? It's like, we finally got Partey. You finally got a manager who recognizes the defense. Why not use? He don't want to answer the Ozil questions no more.
No. So I just have to turn the light on.
It's like we've signed. It's like we finally got strikers. We finally got defensive mids. We finally got a centre half. We finally got a system, and it's like Ozil's not in. When for years it's been no striker, no centre back, no this, no that. It's a mazza.
Yeah, Arsenal just do things in bits and bobs. Do you get what I'm saying? When things finally make sense, that's when they choose to not make sense. Do you get what I'm saying? When things don't make sense, that's when they want to try and make sense of it. Do you get what I'm saying? So, this, for years we were playing players in their wrong positions, forcing them in. Now that we've got players that can actually play in certain positions, play them. Listen, right now, whilst we're in this transitional period of actually trying to get better and whatever, you just play your best team. You get your best squad.
Play your best.
Just play your best team right now. Do you get what I'm saying? We're not in the position. We're not in the position where we can be keeping man out because of this political issue or this sentiment or what. We're not in that position right now. We're not Chelsea. We're not Chelsea where he can afford to leave if he really wanted to. Havertz on the bench, or Werner or Tamier, because you got a man that can come in. We're not man.
Very well rubbed them out now as well. That's the difference between it.
Mate, it's a joke. Do you get what I'm saying? Right now, Chelsea have Giroud. Giroud ain't even touching grass.
He's saying him and the agent are saying they want to leave. He wants to bust out. He's focusing on France.
But they can do that because they can go and put Werner. They can go and put Tammy Abraham up there if they want. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things they can do. We ain't in that position. Like, Ozil's not playing, but you want to put Willock number 10. If that's gonna be what you want to do, then just involve them. Do you get exactly? And like you said, come end of the season, you're gonna have to face the music.
Facts.
You're gonna have to answer to those things because these are the things that could lose his job. I'm not saying he's gonna
you lose your job. Your loyalty to people like William. I know in the grand scheme of things, Pepe is the one with the headlines, but William will make you lose your job. And if that's how you want to go and you think they're the best to go at it, because I think people forget if he believes that that's his man, fair enough. But he's got questions to answer, man. Big up the new member who's joined my membership program. I deleted someone's question, but they asked your opinions on Lacazette and Eddie.
Yeah, I like Lacazette. But if it's not going for you, it's not going for you. I'm all right with him being on the bench. I think it came a bit too late, him being on the bench. You know, sometimes you have to take people out of the team for their own good. And Arteta didn't see that. So I'm all right with him. But I like Lacazette. The only thing is that it's the goals that people really, because his performances, they're not that bad at times. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right, he played very well.
Yeah, they're really not that bad, but then it's the goals that people really care about. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm one of them, man. Yeah, like if you're scoring goals, yeah, but when you're not scoring, you're not impacting, but all people can talk about your goal, then there's something wrong there. Do you get what I'm saying? And you know, like unless the amount of goals you're scoring is like 30 goals a season, like Aubameyang could get away with not playing well every game because you know he's going to tuck.
Yeah, you know.
But if you're not a 30 goal a season player and you know, when you're not scoring, you're also not really contributing. That's when I've got a problem. Lacazette fully contributes. He fully contributes. And
defensively and whatnot.
Yeah, and too many times we look for a scapegoat and we're like, nah, Lacazette needs to go. All right, cool. And then do what? It's not even Lacazette needs to hold bench, you know. Lacazette needs to go. Like, and then do what?
That's it.
At the beginning of the season when he started, well, no one was saying Lacazette needs to go.
Everyone's saying he's back. He's got his mojo and whatnot. I don't mind selling Lacazette, actually. But I want him to stay. I think for me, what would give Lacazette and what I'd really want Eddie to improve, I think people underrate having another out-and-out striker in your bench. United would not have brought in a Garlo or Cavani if that wasn't the case. You know, they've got a fantastic free Rashford, Martial and whatnot. You know, Chelsea and Giroud proved his worth. That's why I'm on keeping Lacazette. I do think Lacazette is declining. I do think with his contract, we're probably going to move him on. For Eddie, it's a difficult one because I do think Eddie's just a squad player like Joe. That's going to be his thing. But when I hear Michael Owen speak, when I hear Ian Wright, when I see Alan Shearer, when I see something, there's an element of surprise with Eddie there. I just want him to be a competent player for us.
It is, yeah. You see Eddie's not pleasing on the eye.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But he's got that thing about him where he just tucks.
That's it. And that's why I want to see a bit more because he struggled at first team level with scoring. He snatched that efforts.
Yeah, no, but he's also young, and this is what I'm saying. That people expect the guy to just be the finished product. Like the guy, how old is he? Like 20.
21. Imagine Aubameyang at 21 if he played for 21. This club.
Do you get what I'm saying? At 21 years old, I don't expect you to be the top striker. We got Aubameyang to be our leading goal scorer. Do you get what I'm saying? But as far as number twos go or a squad player, I'm all right with I'm all right because at the end of the day, there are certain bits he needs to improve on, and he will improve. But even for his age, he's tucking. Man is a record goal scorer for England under 20, under 21s. You know, do you get what I'm saying? And if we manage to get at the beginning of the season, if you told us Eddie Nketiah would probably get 10 goals this season off the bench and a couple starts here and there, you take that. You take
that. Man, this Pepe, that William, this. Man,
you take it, but when we're watching it and this is what we're getting, it's like, nah, it's not happening.
This ain't on. You made a good point. People don't understand improving. They don't, because I know they don't, because whenever it's an English thing, we don't talk about improving what you have. Clearly, Arsenal need to buy players, but people fail to understand whether it's young players that are not playing well, or players we don't think are good enough. Arteta has to improve players. I don't think people value working with what you have and improving year on year. And that's just what I want to see with Eddie. I think Eddie can be a player for us. And if it doesn't work out, make money. That's why it doesn't have to work out here. Just grab 20 odd for him, man. Just grab odds.
Bro, like that's totally it, man.
Well, we got someone upset. If you're happy with Eddie as your second choice, you're part of the problem. Damn, a guy can't have an opinion again. Raw.
And it's not even about that. Left up to me, I wish we could have Cavani as a second choice, but we can't have Cavani as a second choice.
That's not our thing. That's not us.
We can't have Cavani as a second choice. And I'm saying Eddie is not pleasing on the eye, but there's something there. We don't get rid of Eddie and Nketiah, because I really do believe he will go on to be a good striker. I don't know if he's going to go on to become a world beater or whatever, but
we have a good career scoring goals. I believe that
he's gonna go on to have a really good career, because the hardest thing to do in football is put the ball in the back of the net. And if you've got an eye for that at such a young age, you've got something there. All you need to do now is like refine the other areas. To get what I'm trying to say. So it's not a case of if I'm happy with Nketiah as our second choice striker. I'd love to get Cavani in. I'd love to get whoever else in. But at the end of the day, that's not where we're at. I like Nketiah. So yeah.
Last question, my guy, as we approach you. Is the process worth it? I'll let you take that one away.
We'll see at the end of the season, but that's it. I can't come out and be like it's not worth it, is worth it. Like at the end of the season, we'll see. And that's another thing that I think too many times we want to make decisions now. Sometimes you just have to see how things play out. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
always be quick.
You know, in hindsight, when we were linked with Arteta, people were like, no. 8 months down the line, we win FA Cup.
No one speaks about inexperience, you know. No one's talk about that.
Do you get what I'm saying? So is it worth it? I don't know. We'll see at the end of the season. For now, I'm okay, you know, seeing how it happens. But I also know improvements need to be made within the team, the players, within Arteta as well. You know, improvements definitely needs to be made, and you know, and it's okay. No one manager. When Klopp first went to Liverpool, questions were asked.
Alex Ferguson, mate. How did it start for him?
Alex Ferguson almost got the sack in his first season.
And how would that work for him?
Exactly. So look, I'm not here to say Arteta out. I'm not here to say Arteta in. I'm here to say he needs to do better, and there's questions you need to answer. But for now, I'm willing to ride with him to see where we go, basically.
Facts. It's that, you know. I don't listen whether he's the man or not. Right now, he's shown me enough to believe in. Definitely enough to have question marks. But until something swings me either way, I'm in a wait and see mode. Would I take Giroud back at Arsenal? No, I wouldn't. Shout out to Giroud, but nah, man, we've got Lacazette. He's already frustrating. We've got enough frustrated players here generally this season. We don't need Giroud. People look at Giroud with rose tints. He's a quality player. He's got, you know, if you look at his goals that he scored on YouTube, you'd think he's better than Ronaldo, but it's rose tints. He was incredibly frustrating over many years. I let them know.
What is about Giroud though? Sorry.
Huh?
I'm on the other side of that. I think Giroud is not good enough to be your main striker for the course of the season.
It's a plan B thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I think as a plan B, we don't have anyone else like him. We don't have anything.
Yeah, by default, but nah, man.
Yeah, if we came back and he was like a plan B, bring him on 10 minutes, you know, try and get a goal, then yeah, but no, I would never take him back as to be starting games and our number one. No, never. Because we've been there, done that in his peak.
Facts. And my mods have set you up nicely. I'm pretty sure you know my man. Let them know where to find you, man. Well, they can find you here. It's in the thing, but let them know again, man.
Yeah, no, YouTube, Counter Attack Podcast. On Twitter, my actual personal one is Dapo CEO, Dapo CEO. Dapo CEO. But apart from that, my podcast comes out every week on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and we just chat football, but also we get like real players on the podcast. Get me? I think this week I've got Blackburn's Bradley Dack. I've got Bradley Dack on the podcast this week. So yeah, and you know, just go to my page. There's content there, man. And hopefully, you know, DG will come on my page.
I'm coming too.
Yeah, you come on, and every Friday as well, we do the Premier League score prediction with another player as well. So, you know, the players come on and just predict a score or whatnot. So go check out. There's bare things on my page, man.
That sounds sick, man. Make sure you take him in, people, man. You know, I only bring real ones on my show, man. So yeah, people. I mean, I've been here for an hour. My guy's been here for an hour. Hopefully, we've given you lots of quality. As usual, make sure you subscribe and spam your socials with support. But for now, we're out, people, man. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and do the rest, man. Go and watch the podcast with Andy Cole. What you want to say, my guy?
Yeah, say one last thing. I need as many of your subscribers because I've got too many. Like, I don't have enough Arsenal supporters.
Go and spam his thing, bro, man. If you're Arsenal, man, you've heard the man speak now. Come on, go and get your fix of the of his stuff. Man. Take in Daps, man. How many subscribers you on?
I think only like 2, maybe even 2,500.
People go and make that 3 and 4 and 5 and 20. Look, I've got 27. So if you're all Arsenal fans, you know, he should have about 29. My maths is poor. You know, we've got 1. You know, go and get it happening. Go and get it cracking, man. Go and get it cracking. Please do that.
Big up, man.
But for now, we're out, man. You know, if you want more content from me, I'm always here on YouTube. So it is what it is.